Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Striation 6 podcast. I am your host, Sam Chada. And as it is with every podcast episode that I do here, I want to bring you high quality, free exercise information to help you feel, function, look, and live better. And here we're here, excuse me, for Bob's Tri Journey episode 5. We've, as you can probably deduce, done 4 other episodes on this, and I'm here with my friend and client, Bob Wyatt, who's decided to enter his first Olympic triathlon at the age of 69. I have been functioning, I hope, as his muscle system specialist practitioner for the journey, which culminates in Ottawa we're recording this on August 14th. So in just 16 days at the Canadian Triathlon and Run. So we're using Striation 6's unique muscle system specialist approach to look at movement deficits and try to correct them. The ones that we found in his original assessment and anything else we found since then. We meet weekly or so, sometimes not so much weekly, but we meet when we can for our MSS work sessions. And in whatever phase of the process we happen to have been in, and it's gotten less often since we sort of attacked the big things, I guess, by Bob.
Right.
But we do these podcast episodes every now and again to update you all on this pretty Herculean journey that Bob's been on for these last few months, since probably a little before the new year. So that's enough of me. Bob, how's it going?
It is going well. I'm always off by a week. I'll say I'm just 3 weeks off. It's actually less than 3 weeks from my
Mhm.
first triathlon, but I am feeling well. I do have some, as you know, some minor patellofemoral pain in my right knee, what I used to call runner's knee before you gave me the proper medical term. But thankfully, I've been able to keep that under control. So I'm able to run 7 to 10K every other day or so, maybe a little less than that now. Running is my strength, so I'm focusing more on the swimming and the biking. And the biking is good. Haven't figured out how not to sweat profusely while doing it. But as I said in a past episode, on a stationary bike in the gym, there are some advantages to that.
Do you mean the whole sweating like a garden soaker hose in close proximity to others and perhaps more normal sweat level people?
Exactly, Sam. And you'll be happy to know that I have been kicked in the head, in the face while lane swimming now. So I've got that race time experience under my belt.
Yeah, or if you're tuning in right now and you haven't listened to the first 4 episodes of Bob's Tri Journey, you may want to tune in and find out what that refers to.
Or I'll just tell you, I ran into my partner Donna, who I was lane swimming with. So just minor bruise and on the cheek and bridge of my nose went away in 24 hours though. So I really didn't get as much sympathy out of that accident as I was hoping for. Um,
She's
I
competitive. She's trying to prevent you from passing her, I guess.
no, it was all me. It was all me. I was looking down as I'm supposed to do while swimming by the total immersion technique. But you got to look up sometimes just to see where
Mhm.
you're going, and I didn't. So I learned my lesson. I do have a slightly more serious issue in a way. It's my and I got this from you, Sam. It's my long head biceps tendon that I've aggravated. Hopefully, it's a strain, not a tear. It's getting better, so it must have been just a strain. And this was pre-existing from before I met you last fall. And I made it worse by doing machine chest presses, which I will acknowledge I did not need to be doing for this particular journey. But anyway, this is not affecting my swim stroke in any significant way, although I might have a little bit of trouble straight arming the trophy for completing the triathlon when it happens. But yeah, I'll be happy if I have the opportunity to struggle through that.
Yeah, that'd be a nice opportunity to have, I'm sure. I'm sure. And just to remind everyone, where Bob is in his tri journey, and more specifically where he is in this proactive and preventive approach he's taken to his training by employing me as his MSS practitioner. There are sort of 5 steps, and these 5 steps are typical in terms of what one might go through undertaking MSS or muscle system specialist work with someone like me or the other 2 people who work with me here at Striation 6, Lance and Esther. Lance being the ambassador for the muscle system specialist program for Canada. We start with a discovery meeting where we really try to see if we're a good fit. Not everyone is a good fit for MSS, and openly, and I hope this doesn't come across as negative, we don't want people undertaking the process if you're not a good fit because it won't benefit you in the long term, and that's really what we're here for. Then we move into our initial assessment where we get a whole bunch of data ranging from injury history, all kinds of data that lets us know where work might need to be done in your body. And then we go into the first phase of actually working with you, where we're focusing on activating and potentiating different parts of your body, mostly on kind of a massage table. We use exercise, it just doesn't look like traditional exercise. And if you think about it, traditional exercise sort of got you where you are in the first place. So maybe you don't want it to look like traditional exercise. I say that tongue in cheek. I'm half kidding there. Phase two, and as we get through the first part of phase one, move into phase two, we actually try to move you into the gym as much as we can. And in fact, our phase two assessment is done largely in the gym so that we can actually see how you do, how your body does under load after the phase one work. And then after that, we look at follow ups and loop backs as required. And this is where Bob is now. And it's particularly because he has this event coming up that he's prepared for. So, what we want to do is allow him to focus on the training for the triathlon and intervene only as is necessary, since this is a really specific functional task that he has to undertake, or series of tasks that he has to undertake post triathlon. We may be able to get into some other work, but this is where Bob is now, follow ups and loop backs as required.
As listeners may know, MSS practice is generally for recovery, rehabilitation, and recovery. And my particular process is more preventive. Are the 5 steps any different in my preventive context?
They'd only be different as the work that's done pertains to you specifically. So the MSS is a very individualized process. If you're someone who's looking for something algorithmic, protocol based, it may not be a good fit for you. But if you're someone who's looking for a process that fits to you versus a process that forces you to fit to it, MSS is more likely to be a good fit. The general outline of the process, Bob, would be the same in that we would do a discovery meeting, make a decision together to move forward or not with an assessment. Then we'd go into whatever phase one and phase two work, so to speak, is appropriate. Someone not as healthy, or let's say more injured than yourself, might have required a lot more phase one work before actually moving into the phase two kind of in gym stuff. Typically, just for people who are listening in, you can feel free to go back to listen to previous episodes. Bob was an uncommon kind of client to me in that he came in with no real pain. He had patellofemoral syndrome, and there was this sort of issue in his shoulder, but there was nothing stopping him from exercising. Typically, the people that I see have big barriers to exercise in the form of pain, and often combined with never having exercised before, or having several contraindications to exercise, material damage to discs in their spine or ligaments in their knees and things like that. So I tend to deal with complex, um, often low fitness level cases. You were anything but that, Bob. Pretty healthy guy, high level of fitness, looking to keep himself as healthy as possible while undertaking a pretty big training journey.
You're used to me saying things like this, Sam. I don't want to frighten you as to how my mind works. but I'm spending a fair bit of time training these days, and um, while I'm doing that, my mind wanders, and
Hmm.
that's always been a good sign for me. It means I'm getting fitter. My mind's wandering while I'm running or riding or
Sure.
okay, my mind doesn't wander so much swimming, but the other two, yeah. I've been thinking about fitness sayings, and the reason this has come up because I've always been impressed um, that famous sayings, especially those from the past, which often sound funny or weird in modern context, they almost always have some basis in truth. So I want to run a couple that have already run through my mind by you.
Oh, it's a bit of trivia here. Okay.
Yeah. Where do you go with you miss 100% of the shots you don't take?
Oh, that's the great one. Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, that was easy. Okay.
Hmm.
Let's ramp it up a bit here. Don't count the days, make the days count.
Oh, believe it or not, that's even easier because I'm more of a fight guy than a hockey guy. That was the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali.
Okay. Um, movement is life, and life is movement.
I believe that's Danny Rojas from Ted Lasso. Bastardized by you, though.
Thank you. Okay. So no more sports sayings. You're obviously too good at these. Here's one that sounds like a slogan for your MSS practice. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years.
So what gave it away is that your voice kind of sounded like I imagined his would. I sort of knew it, but then the way you
No
said
way.
it, that was Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln.
Are you Googling these in real time? Your eyes look like they're looking at me, but hmm. Well, the point is usually there's some truth to these things. Um, let's see if that thinking holds in the health and fitness world. I'll skip right over the famous "you are what you eat," and I'll go straight at no pain, no gain. First, I will say, sorry, my perspective is that as a mere visitor to your health and fitness planet, um, after exercise discomfort or a bit of muscle pain um, can be a good thing. This is just my opinion. It's usually gone 24 hours, and it tells me I'm working hard enough to get results in some kind of timely fashion. And it tells me if I'm working the right muscles based on what is you know, a little painful and what isn't. Um, but there's the limit, and the somewhat creepier saying what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, which I've always struggled with the grammar of. It definitely goes too far in this topic. What say you, Sam? And no Googling this time.
What say me? It's a big question, because to decide whether or not something's good needs a context. So a little bit of soreness. So I'll say in general terms, a little bit of soreness after a workout is probably, in general terms, not a bad thing, unless it prevents you from functioning in general, which a little bit of soreness would probably tend not to do, um, or it prevents you from functioning in a way that's specific to a goal you have. So, to take something you brought up earlier, the chest press, the machine chest press that may not have been necessary for this phase of your training. Not to make you wrong for doing it. And the Lord knows I love a good machine chest press. I think I have four of them here. Four of them here at Striation 6. Love them, love them, love them. Um, but if it prevented you from being able to swim as well as you could the next day, and it was an important swim for you, or for the next week or the next month, then that little bit of soreness probably wasn't such a good thing. I think people are going to hopefully not be too turned off my approach to this, but there was one great thing that the Soviets did, and it was in the exercise world. And the Soviet sort of strength and overall fitness approach was one of I'm gonna bust out another saying here from the fitness world: stimulate, don't annihilate. And that was actually from an American bodybuilder named Lee Haney, who had
Right.
one of the greatest bodybuilding physiques of all time. He's one of two people to ever win 8 Mr. Olympias, which is more than Arnold Schwarzenegger won. He won 7. But the Russian approach to strength training, to bodybuilding training, to powerlifting, even to figure skating and other sports that have nothing to do with strength training necessarily, was all stimulate, don't annihilate. Um, Practice under your threshold as much as possible, and then when competition time is happening or it's near, then you can go a little bit harder. But 10 out of 10 effort is for the stage or the platform or the competitive arena, not for health and not for practicing. Practice should be done, practicing your swim stroke, practicing being on your bike, practicing running form, practicing anything else that requires form and precision of execution. That's where you go mild to moderate until it's really under your skin and you actually have the ability to push it. A little phrase I like to tout in that light is um, consistency beats intensity every time, which sort of contradicts the traditional approach to exercise. But it seems to work pretty well for us.
So what do you think about go hard or go home?
Well, there's two things. There's two things. Most people who think they're going hard aren't really going hard. They're just really tired afterwards. The effort is not directed. It's very general, often because the skill set required for the effort isn't very well learned in the body yet. Um, but it's kind of the same response as above. If clients were to follow, clients who tend to follow this advice, they get a bit of upfront gains and then they go home and stay home.
Pain is weakness leaving the body.
Emotionally cruel, Bob. These are all variations on the same bad theme.
Okay. Sweat is just fat crying.
Yeah, that's funny because it's factually incorrect, and most likely socially incorrect. We may get canceled for this. Um, my turn. What do you think of the one I mentioned? Consistency beats intensity every time.
I like it. But if you were to ask me when I was 20, I don't think I'd have the same answer.
Yeah,
Now I do because I've injured myself doing silly things in minor ways so many times. I've finally figured it out. So yeah, sticking with exercise is more important than killing it, right? For sure. I'm saying that as an older person who's made all the mistakes in the past. So
indeed.
I agree with that one, but it's a bit of a life stage sensitive response in my case. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, I've got another one that I tend to throw out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if the opinion was sort of the same. But how about more exercise is not better? Better exercise is better.
That makes good sense to me. I know that's one of your core beliefs. I think it was one of the first things I heard you say on a podcast right around the time we first met. I would agree with that too. It's in keeping with the previous comment, I think.
Mm,
Yeah. I think I heard once you lose your fitness about as fast as you gained it. So it so it makes sense that if you've been smart and slow and consistent in gaining your fitness, that it would take a long time to lose it. And that's an argument for consistency over pure effort. So
mm.
I like that one too. That one makes sense to me too.
Excellent. Excellent.
Do you have one that maybe I won't agree with?
I don't know. I mean, those are my two big. Those are my two big ones.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
those are
good.
my two big ones. Don't skip leg day. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's not mine though. That's not mine. That's a pretty famous one these days.
None of the ones I gave were, oh, well, actually, the Danny Rojas one was bastardized by me, so part mine.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. August 30th is less than 3 weeks away. So this will be the last update before my triathlon. unless I were to lose a limb in the next few weeks, does MSS help with the activation of muscles and reattach limbs?
After a long healing time, tissue healing time, we may be able to help, but you'd need to see several other practitioners before getting back on my table in that particular instance.
Okay, fair. So I should reiterate that my completion or not of this triathlon is not a test of your MSS approach in a preventive context. You have already passed that with flying colors
Thank you.
because I've been able to navigate this journey without the help of any other medical or allied health specialists. So, um, congratulations and thank you. This has been both educational and honestly fun for me, Sam.
Well, thank you, Bob. It's actually been educational and a lot of fun for me too. Like I said, I don't often get to work with people in your high state of health who are looking at doing something like MSS as proactive rather than reactive. And I love working with the clients that I work with and getting them back to, as full function and high quality of life again as possible. But like I said, it's been quite the experience working with someone who already had a lot of high function and really good quality of life, and is just looking to take it to the next level and do something he's never done before. So, thanks to everyone for listening, and thank you, Bob, for agreeing to these podcasts and for going through the process. And all the best for your triathlon. And maybe we'll get together again in September and see how it went.
And here I go once again, channeling my inner Danny Rojas. Sam reminds me, you're never alone. And Sam says, believe in yourself. And I do love a locker room. So, Sam, so happy to see you always have the skeleton in the room with us. In Mexico, we also celebrate the dead. I look good by comparison. No? I think yes. Does he have a name? And was he a client of yours? Not so lucky as me, I guess. As you always say, life is movement. And as I always say, movement is life. Adios, amigo.
Adios. Thanks, everybody.